Travel in 2022? It can be easy if you do it smart. Stay tuned. Welcome back to So You Want to Travel, where I give you tips and tricks that I've learned along the way of being a travel agent for almost 22 years. So what do I mean by travel smart? Well, right now, because of the pandemic, there are a number of people in the world today, and when I say world, I mean world, that have e-credit, either with the airlines, cruise companies, tour companies, hotels, maybe your online booking engine. There are so many places where you could possibly have e-credits. Well, guess what? A lot of those e-credits are due to expire. So what you need to do first is check with whomever you have e-credits with, because some have been extended, some have not. So check first to see when your credits actually expire. Don't assume that they're going to extend them again, because more than likely they're not going to. Just be on the ball, be ahead of everything, and start with your e-credits. Find out how much you have and when they expire. Next, you're going to want to think about what destination you're interested in. And that goes back to Skyscanner, which I've talked about in this video before. They're going to tell you which countries are open, which ones have restrictions, which you can easily come and go through. Go there first and then start planning your vacation. One thing I would suggest is you may want to look at a destination that's been open for a long amount of time, and not one of those locations that have open and then quickly close again because their numbers go up. Because that way you're still never guaranteed that your country that you're interested in is going to stay open, but you have a little bit more of a probability of being able to travel to that destination as opposed to one that maybe opens and closes according to the numbers. For example, people have been very safe when it comes to traveling to Mexico because they really didn't close, and then also to Greece because they were open a large amount of the time as well when it came to the pandemic. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go to another country. Say, for example, if you had a credit going to London and you just don't feel comfortable traveling overseas at this point, then use your credits domestically. You're not stuck with not being able to use them. If you have a large amount of credits, go a few places. You can maybe go visit family or go to one of the national parks, which we're going to talk about next. That way you can still use your credits but still feel safe traveling. Once you have your destination in mind, now it's time for you to keep in your mind during this whole process to be patient and be flexible. Because what you're going to do next is you're going to do a lot of research. You're going to want to research every part of your vacation. And the reason why is because some places aren't open anymore. Some places have limited hours. Some restaurants may be only open in nighttime and they used to be open all day. You just want to be aware of where you're going. Like some museums require you to, even if it's a free museum, you still have to have a reservation before going because they want to have a certain amount of people in the museum at a time. So you want to really do research. Don't do research on Google, because I have found when I've wanted to go to a restaurant recently, it says the hours are from here to here, and really when I get there they're already closed, which is very annoying. So that's happened like 2 or 3 times, so I stopped doing that. I go directly to the website of wherever it is I'm going to, and then also their Facebook. One thing that I've learned about Facebook, when you reach out to a company, for the most part, they're very responsive when you send a message. So that's what I would do when it comes to museums, restaurants, any tourist destinations. Anything that you plan on doing, definitely check on their website and their Facebook page just for any updates. So generally, when should you start reserving your trips for 2022? Well, a lot of the times families get together during the month of December when they have free time or during the holidays. They get together to kind of figure out when they want to have their trips. And then come January is when you need to book. January is the month that is one of the busiest. I say January and February is the busiest for the travel industry, because that's, for the most part, when everyone starts booking. Anyone who is on top of everything, that's when they start booking, January and February. So prepare yourself in December to start making reservations in January and February. Because many people are not comfortable yet traveling overseas, they're also not comfortable going to bigger cities. A lot of people for 2022 plan on going to national parks, just like in 2021. What does that mean? You actually need to start reserving early. And here's a secret. Come here, let me tell you. Rental cars are not widely available. So if you haven't heard, there's a rental car shortage. You have to make sure that this is one of those aspects of your trip, regardless of where you're going, that you take care of as soon as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be using Uber or Lyft your whole trip. Listen, I understand this is a lot of work. It's what I do for a living. And if you have a travel agent that you work with, reach out to them. They're definitely ready and willing to help you with your trips for 2022. And if you don't have a travel agent, then look for a travel agent that you actually know, because they're willing to help you with your 2022 trips as well. In the meantime, talk to you later.